Lansing right now has a lot of state office buildings and parking ramps on the water. Really doesn't have the mass of people that come after 5 o'clock and live on weekends. So this will be the first real housing development along the river.
Developer Pat Gillespie of the Gillespie Group is talking about plans to build 2 upscale apartment complexes where parking lots now sit along the Grand River in downtown Lansing. His plans ran into a major snag this fall when Lansing City Council twice rejected Gillespie's application for brownfield tax credits over labor union issues. Gillespie tells the Mackinac Center for Public Policy he needs those credits to help pay for contamination cleanup at the site, which he estimates will cost at least $1 million.
And the city had a contract in place with us with the development agreement that said if we apply to clean up the site that they contaminated and they sold us, they'll grant us, brownfield credits to assist in doing that. When we were told no again, we were left with a contaminated site that we paid $1.6 million for on the river with no resources to clean it up.
A judge overturned City Council and gave the green light to the brownfield credits. Those credits are now under consideration by the state. Gillespie says the judge's decision thwarted efforts by 4 council members who wanted a project labor agreement attached to the brownfield tax credits. He says such a mandate would have increased his project's labor costs by as much as 30%.
It basically says there's a wage rate that you need to adhere to, and that wage rate is set by, not the market conditions, not what's going on in the environment, not the free market conditions compared to what everyone else in the state is building apartments for. So I was being held to a standard that is unrealistic and makes the projects unfeasible and unable to do.
Gillespie believes the drive for a project labor agreement stems from labor unions wanting all of the action on his project, and that those 4 council members who rejected his tax credit application acted on behalf of those unions.
We kept being told that if this isn't 100% union labor, then we will turn this project down. And that's tough to do.
At its November 8th meeting, Lansing City Council voted not to appeal the judge's decision, despite more heated discussion.
A major concern I'm having as this thing develops is that developers, or at least this developer, has a sense of entitlement to these incentives.
I disagree with you. I don't believe Pat Gillespie has an entitlement mentality. I think he's done a great deal for this city. And I want to continue to encourage Pat Gillespie and other developers to please come and make a home in Lansing.
Another council member effectively shut down the issue by outlining the potential cost of the lawsuit to the city.
It's going to come out of our general fund. General fund, people.
A short time later, outside City Hall, several local union members were angry council would not consider an appeal. However, they would not give the Mackinac Center an official comment. Paul Kersey is the director of labor policy at the Mackinac Center. He says while adding project labor agreements to government contracts is not uncommon, this time it is troubling because a private developer simply tried to hold the city to the original deal.
There's always a risk that somebody's going to attach something completely extraneous to it. For instance, a project labor agreement. That has nothing to do with cleaning up brownfields. What it really is just a payoff to construction labor unions.
As for Pat Gillespie, he will move forward with his project, but he hopes the strong-arm tactics that nearly brought his project to a halt in Lansing will not be repeated anywhere.
To have a market that's hot along a riverfront to help the capital city and the urban core, and to have the ability to finance it, are all key factors. Having to jump through more hoops like this in order to do that is frustrating. And you can see why some of the communities lag in what they do when they're forced to do that.